chose the latter because of my deep belief in the importance of education and my desire to be a part of that mission. I spent 4 years in graduate school to prepare to be the best mathematics teacher I could be, as much as a doctor, physician. I did teach computer science or computer programming for a few years at the University of the Pacific, and I watched a former student of mine graduate and begin her career with only a bachelor's. She far exceeded my lifetime earnings in a much shorter time, retired early, and has been spending the last few years traveling the world. She is a friend also, and I've tried to tell her that I think she owes me like a commission because I have a lot to do with her. She's not going. Anyway, okay. The second point I wanted to make was about, I don't think many people are aware of 2 laws, federal laws concerning Social Security that affect teachers. So, as a public educator, I do not pay into Social Security, but into a state pension fund instead. If it were that simple, I could understand not being eligible for Social Security benefits. However, I came late to public education in my career, and I worked many years at private institutions where I did pay into Social Security, close to 18 years. Well, not full time, but the whole time. But anyway, these years will not count towards my state pension, clearly. But the alarming fact is that only because I am a teacher, I will receive a small fraction of the Social Security benefits for the years I did pay in. If I were in any other profession, I would receive the full amount I was eligible for. That's one of the laws. The other law is, well, additionally, I was widowed 3 years ago, and yet I will never be eligible for spousal survival benefits, only because I'm a teacher. My mother was recently widowed, and even though my father worked his entire life, and she only worked as a teacher for 15 years, she is not eligible for spousal benefits either. So we take a hit with Social Security if we have had that involvement. Okay. And finally, you're aware that YCCD has a salary schedule like most districts that determines an instructor's salary based on years of education and experience. The exception to these schedules is that new hires can be credited a maximum of 10 years experience. The effect is that once a teacher has been with the district for many years, it is impossible to get a teaching job in another district without taking a severe salary cut. When we sign on to teach for the district, we are often making a lifetime commitment. Most of my career with YCCD, I felt the administrators and the board valued education, teaching, and learning, and student success as much as I did. I felt respected and valued and was proud to belong to the district. Those feelings are gone. Now it seems productivity ratios and large class sizes are the vision of administration and the board. I hear no mention of student learning. My personal experience is that large class sizes are not conducive to student success. As the class size goes up, so do the failure rates. We are currently at odds concerning compensation. Faculty become educators because of their deep belief in the importance of education and their commitment to serve their communities, and they make sacrifices to do so. The board has long had a commitment to bring our faculty salaries from the bottom to the median of our agreed upon cohort, and yet there's no effort to come up with a plan to make that happen. No willingness to make the same long-term commitment to faculty that the faculty have made to the district. This disappoints me terribly. Not only does it directly affect my current salary, when I can afford to retire, and what I will receive for the rest of my life when I do retire, it emphasizes how little faculty are valued today in our district. Thank you.
If we could just, I understand the enthusiasm and everything, but as you applause, it cuts back on the ability for other people to provide their input, and that's what we're really trying to get to tonight, so thank you. Next is Lori Sylvester.
I'll jog to make up for their applause. Applause is speech. And not everybody's speaking tonight, and so when they applaud, they're letting us know that they agree. My name's Lori Sylvester. I was hired as a part-time adjunct in 1989 until 2000. In 2000, I was hired full-time. I've always had a wish. I wish that a board member could have shadowed me starting at 5 a.m. on Wednesday until 11 p.m. when I got home. I wish you could have seen that work day. I have a wish that a board member could have been available on weekends every time I turned down a family event, or time with friends to grade papers, prepare new lectures, or to create special materials for students who have different learning styles. I have a wish that the administration or board members could hear what teachers are all talking about when we're hushed in a meeting. We're excited. We're asking for tips on how to solve a problem. We're excited about new ideas. We're obsessed with making the learning experience better for our students, and I know you can't shut us up, but we really are working when we're talking. I have a wish that you knew we pulled out our wallets to meet the needs of our students, but we'll never say. Our students have dignity, and sometimes they have unmet needs, and our hearts break, and we can't help ourselves. I have a wish that someone cared about how and when students were paid. I wish you'd ask why a model waits 3 months to be paid. They're modeling, they're taking off their clothes, and they're asked to wait 3 months to be paid from this district. It's wrong. I have a wish that you could see 2,000 emails and responses and see when those were done, and because there's not enough time in a day to answer those emails from our students. I have a wish that you knew how much money faculty spend to make program improvements, or when we do raise money for our program, we're denied use or made obstacles to get to that money. I have a wish that faculty would be treated honorably, thanked in person, in a place relevant to the actual actions that the faculty have performed. Because our absence leaves a hole, it leaves needs unmet, and it leaves programs undone by a lack of full-time support. I won't apologize for asking to be paid when mandated to attend an 8-hour training at Sierra Conservation Center so that I can teach inmates, as that is state law, that when you mandate me to go to a training, that I'm paid. I wish I didn't have to ask that the contract be upheld, or that the codes and the laws of the state of California be followed. I wish you could feel the pit in my stomach every time a professional, student-centered colleague retires before they intended. They leave discouraged. Oftentimes, they know that their position will not be replaced. I wish you knew how it felt to watch adjuncts struggle to fill the gaps where we leave, where there are no longer full-time faculty, and the crime is the unpaid hours they spend to make it right for the students. And I wish that a future faculty never have to know, never have to wish for these things. I wish you'd stop delaying the contract on our backs and at our expense.
Next we have Melissa Colon and Judy Ryman.
Hello, I have a handout because I thought maybe if you didn't hear everything I said that you could actually look at it. It's the same statement I'm going to talk about. So I'm the distance education coordinator for Columbia College, Melissa Colon. So I wanted to address distance ed tonight. So basically, over the years, we've been encouraging more faculty to develop and teach additional online classes. And the increase in the enrollment caps that are now being proposed for online classes and courses could be a deterrent. I work with the online instructors very closely, and I know the amount of work that goes into developing a course. And so although we've enjoyed stipends over the years, they don't come close to compensating all the work and hours that go into the amount of work to develop online courses. And now, face-to-face instructors are being asked to use Canvas courses, develop content for their students, and so that's extra time as well, preparing materials and resources, so it's increased. And that is the expectation of our students, but it's also an expectation of our leadership. So one of the concerns voiced by our DE consultant many years ago, about 9 years ago, was that college leaders who have never taught online or who have never been online students will want to load up the online courses to help with load balance because they don't understand the amount of work that goes into teaching fully online, especially the regular and effective contact that takes place even during weekends and holidays, and I think you've heard that testimony already from others. I've been at Columbia College since 2001, and for the work and expectations that continues to increase each year, in addition to teaching and developing new and online and face-to-face classes, what the faculty is asking is reasonable and honorable.
And I'm Judy Ryman. I'm the Office Technology professor here. I've been here 10 years, and I immediately started learning how to teach online because in a small community like Columbia, I can't fill my classes unless I teach online. And online teaching requires everything that an instructor would present in a face-to-face class be written and uploaded into a module. At minimum, the first 4 weeks of the semester needs to be prepared. And despite all the time and effort spent in creating a class, making it accessible, providing all the detail necessary to get the students started, many students do not read or follow instructions. Some are new to online education and mechanic. As a result, my email load at the